Picture this. March 18th, 1983. Atlantic City. The bright lights of the arena reflecting off the canvas that would soon be stained with blood and sweat. Michael Spinks, the undefeated light heavyweight champion, was about to face something he'd never encountered before. A human wrecking ball named Dwight Kawi. People don't understand, Spinks recalled decades later, his voice still carrying the weight of that night. Kawi wasn't just tough. He was relentless. Kawi came from the streets. He'd served time in Rahway State Prison before finding redemption in boxing. At 5'5", he was shorter than Spinks by 7 inches. But what he lacked in height, he made up for in pure, unbridled ferocity. Round 1 began, and immediately Spinks realized this wasn't going to be a typical fight. Kawi came forward like a bulldozer, his head down, his shoulders rolling, throwing hooks to the body that felt like sledgehammers. Boom, boom, boom. Body shots that would make grown men quit. But Spinks didn't quit. He couldn't. The WBA light heavyweight title was on the line. Every time he hit me to the body, Spinks revealed, I felt it in my soul. It wasn't just pain. It was like he was trying to break my spirit. By round 7, both men were exhausted. Kawi kept coming forward like a Terminator, and Spinks had to use every ounce of his boxing IQ to survive. He'd jab, move, counter, but Kawi would just keep walking through everything. The 15th round. Both warriors were running on empty. The crowd was on their feet, screaming. Kawi threw one last desperate combination, trying to take Spinks's head off. But Michael survived. Split decision. Michael Spinks wins. But Spinks knew the truth. He'd been in a street fight disguised as a boxing match. Kawi taught me what it meant to dig deep, he admitted. After that night, I knew I could survive anything. Fighter #4. Larry Holmes, first fight. The Impossible Task. September 21st, 1985, Las Vegas, Nevada. Michael Spinks was about to attempt the impossible. He was moving up to heavyweight to challenge Larry Holmes, the man who had defended the heavyweight title 20 times. The man who many considered the closest thing to Muhammad Ali's successor. Everyone told me I was crazy, Spinks remembered. I was a light heavyweight. Holmes was a legitimate heavyweight who destroyed everyone. The odds were stacked against him. Holmes had knockout power. The bell rang, and immediately you could see the size difference. Holmes looked massive compared to Spinks. His jab, that legendary jab that had broken so many fighters, started snapping towards Michael's head. But something strange happened. Spinks wasn't afraid. He'd been in hell with Kawi. He'd survived wars. And now, he was going to show the world something they'd never seen before. Round 3. Holmes landed a crushing right hand that would have knocked out most light heavyweights. Spinks stumbled, but didn't go down. His legs wobbled, but his heart? His heart was made of steel. That punch, Spinks said, his eyes distant with memory. That punch made me realize Holmes could end me with one shot. But I kept moving, kept boxing, kept believing. Round after round, Spinks used his speed, his awkward southpaw style, his intelligence. He'd dart in, land combinations, and get out before Holmes could counter. It was like watching a matador dance with a bull. Holmes grew frustrated. His legendary jab wasn't landing clean. His power shots were missing. And Michael Spinks, the underdog, the light heavyweight, was actually winning rounds. When the decision was announced, unanimous decision for Michael Spinks, the boxing world went silent. Then it erupted. Michael Spinks had done the impossible. He'd ended Larry Holmes' 48-fight unbeaten streak. He'd become the first reigning light heavyweight champion to win the heavyweight title. Holmes was tough because he had everything, Spinks explained. Power, skill, experience, size. Beating him meant believing in myself when nobody else did. Fighter #3. Gerry Cooney. The Unexpected War. Wait. Gerry Cooney? Most people remember Cooney fighting Holmes, not Spinks. But here's what you don't know. Michael Spinks sparred extensively with Gerry Cooney. And those sessions were brutal. People think sparring doesn't count, Spinks revealed with a knowing smile. But some of my toughest fights happened in the gym, away from the cameras. Gerry Cooney was a 6'6" Irish-American knockout artist, with a left hook that could separate your soul from your body. When he hit the heavy bag, it sounded like thunder. In those sparring sessions, Spinks faced the full fury of Cooney's power. He caught me with a left hook once in sparring, Michael recalled, and I literally saw stars. Real stars, like in the cartoons. But these sessions taught Spinks something crucial. How to handle bigger, stronger heavyweights. How to take a punch from someone with knockout power and keep functioning. Cooney prepared me for Holmes, Spinks admitted. Every time I sparred with Gerry, I learned how to survive against bigger men. That knowledge was priceless. Cooney may never have fought Spinks professionally, but in many ways, he was one of the toughest opponents Michael ever faced. Because in the gym, with no audience and no glory, Cooney was trying to take his head off. And Spinks survived, learned, evolved. Fighter #2. Larry Holmes, rematch. The Angry Champion. April 19th, 1986. Las Vegas again. But this time, everything was different. Larry Holmes was furious. The first loss of his professional career haunted him. He'd trained like a demon, preparing for redemption. The second fight with Holmes was different. Spinks said, his voice serious. He was angry. And an angry Larry Holmes was the most dangerous fighter on the planet. From the opening bell, you could see it. Holmes came out aggressive, throwing his jab with bad intentions. He wanted to hurt Spinks. He wanted to prove the first fight was a fluke. Round 4. Holmes landed a combination that sent Spinks into the ropes. The crowd gasped. Was this the beginning of the end? But Spinks fired back. A straight left, a right hook. He wasn't just surviving, he was fighting. That second fight took everything from me, Spinks revealed. Holmes was faster, sharper, angrier. Every round felt like climbing a mountain. The middle rounds were absolute warfare. Holmes would land big shots. Spinks would counter. Back and forth, two warriors refusing to give an inch. By round 12, both men were exhausted. Holmes threw one final furious combination, trying to get the knockout. Spinks covered up, weathered the storm, and fired back with his own shots. When the decision was announced, split decision for Michael Spinks, the arena exploded in controversy. Holmes was furious. "I beat him!" he screamed. Many ringside observers agreed, but Spinks had done it again. He'd survived the storm and come out victorious. The second Holmes fight was tougher than the first, Michael admitted years later, because he was motivated by revenge. That's the most dangerous opponent, one who has nothing to lose and everything to prove. Fighter has shown, Mike Tyson. The monster, and now. The moment you've been waiting for. June 27th, 1988. Atlantic City Convention Hall. Michael Spinks, undefeated in 31 professional fights, was about to face something he'd never encountered before. Not a boxer, not a fighter, a destroyer. Mike Tyson was at the peak of his powers. He'd demolished Michael Spinks's brother Leon in 91 seconds. He'd destroyed Trevor Berbick. He'd annihilated everyone in his path. Looking at Tyson across the ring, Spinks said, his voice quiet, "I saw something in his eyes I'd never seen before. Pure violence, pure destruction. It wasn't personal. It was just what he did. The 91 seconds that changed everything." The bell rang. Tyson charged across the ring like a rabid animal. His head movement, his power, his speed. It was unlike anything Spinks had experienced. Boom. A right uppercut landed flush on Spinks's chin. He went down. The crowd roared. Spinks got up at the count of 3, his legs shaky. The referee asked if he was okay. Michael nodded, but his eyes told a different story. Tyson smelled blood. He came forward again, throwing combinations with murderous intent. Boom, boom, boom. Another right hand landed. Spinks went down again. This time, he got up at 2, but he was clearly hurt. The referee looked into Michael's eyes. He'd seen enough. Fight over. 91 seconds. Mike Tyson, by TKO. People ask me if Tyson was the toughest fighter I faced, Spinks said, reflecting on that night decades later. The truth is, he was the most devastating. There's a difference. Spinks explained that Holmes was tougher because the fights were longer, more grueling. Kawi was tougher because of the relentless body attack. But Tyson? Tyson was different, Michael revealed. He was like facing a force of nature, a hurricane, an earthquake. You don't beat a hurricane, you just hope to survive it. The loss to Tyson haunted Spinks. It ended his undefeated streak. It ended his heavyweight reign. Many say it ended his career. But years later, Spinks found peace with it. Tyson caught me on his best night, he admitted. But I don't regret stepping in that ring. I took the challenge when nobody else would. That's what champions do. So, there you have it, fight fans. Michael Spinks at 60, revealing the 5 toughest opponents of his legendary career. From the relentless body punching of Kawi, to the championship heart of Holmes, twice, to the unexpected warfare of training with Cooney, to the devastating power of Iron Mike Tyson. Each fighter taught Spinks something. Each battle shaped the legend. And that's what makes boxing beautiful. It's not just about winning or losing. It's about the warriors who step into that ring, knowing they might face the toughest night of their lives and choosing to fight anyway. Michael Spinks did that 5 times, and we're all better for having witnessed it. Now, it's your turn. Which of these 5 fights shocked you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and give this video a like if you enjoyed this deep dive into boxing history. Share this with your fellow boxing fans. They need to hear these incredible stories. More legendary boxing content coming soon. Until then, keep your hands up and your chin down.